I am Slick Nick, your personal certified Enneagram coach. And if you want to learn more about that, this is the best guide out there. I just love this book. It's the Enneagram Made Easy. There's a link right there. You can buy it through Amazon. It's not even expensive. What I want to address in this video, with me being an Enneagram 7 with an 8 wing, naturally, that's the filter through which I see the world. So while I'm happy to talk about other Enneagram types on this channel, largely as the host, as the narrator, that's the lens you're seeing it come through. For example, like Robin Williams or Chris Pratt, ones that I would say, yep, that's a 7. You can tell how much by their energy level and how much they're always talking and always to seem positive and optimistic. That's that Enneagram 7, and specifically me having the 8 wing, more aggressive, and I finish projects, whereas an Enneagram 7 with the 6 wing is a little bit more scattered. What I have observed is it seems that if you're an Enneagram 7 and you're female, you're more likely to be a 6 wing, a male more likely to be an 8 wing. That's my general observation so far. So with that being said, something I've always been aware of is that I have never cared about sports. I never cared about sports. No, granted, a lot of that's because of my dad. My dad was never into sports. He did martial arts, and he's an Enneagram 9, and Enneagram 9s are quite likely to do martial arts. But we never had sports on in the TV. I mean, I'm from Alabama. I was born in pretty much, I was told, like, okay, roll tide, and people supplied me with clothes and stuff for that. But it doesn't mean that I ever really was into football or any kind of sports. I played sports. I played baseball when I was in elementary school, played a couple years of basketball. In junior high and high school, I liked playing basketball. That's mainly what we did in gym class. I liked it. Whether I was good or not, that's a whole different story. But as far as me being a fan of sports and rooting on a team and spending the weekend or on a game watching it, no, I've never done that. I've never cared about that. I was raised in a house where we didn't do that, but individually I had no interest in that. So let's flash forward to the future, age 40. I understand that I'm an Enneagram 7, 8 wing now. And it makes sense because when you research a 7, what you're going to find is someone who's obsessed with time management. Why? Because we fear being bored, because boredom equals pain. We want to matter in this life, and we want to make the most of our life. So we don't have time to get caught up in what I perceive as tribalism. So who cares who wins the Super Bowl? It doesn't change my life at all. And on a similar note, why would I care about politics? Now, granted, I have a history of caring about politics, but I don't anymore. Last year, I officially realized I'm not even a libertarian. That's not even neutral enough for me. I'm a political centrist. I'm absolutely far removed from all political parties. I see them all as equal. I think, for one party to be valid, it only means that the other one has to be equally valid. If one was so superior, they wouldn't be so even weighted, and we wouldn't have the kind of elections where that we do if there was an obvious choice. Clearly, I can see that balance, that it's not as cut dry as we want it to be. So to me, sports, it's silly. It's tribalism. Politics, it's silly. Like, to believe that what you believe and your opinions actually matter and are going to change the world. I know that's not how it actually works, but I'm a 7, I'm balanced, I don't have time for that sort of nonsense. Now, also what you're hearing come out of me is the Enneagram 5, because as a 7, my growth personality is a 5, and a 5 is all about the balance. So at my best, I become that 5, and ultimately, that's what you're going to see as well. I think there's definitely certain personalities that are more likely to care about tribalistic things, like sports or politics, or even, people's opinion on the COVID vaccination, whatever it is. If there is a topic where people are divided, typically you won't find me in that divide. Typically you'll find me pulled back and just eating the popcorn, watching people argue about it and get all hot and bothered. But my emotions are not going to change by anything tribalistic. It's just not my thing. I don't have time for it. I care very much about balance and seeing the overall picture, and that is definitely a trait of Enneagram 7s. I'd love to hear from you. Can you relate to this at all? Leave a comment right here.